Great to see you. Tiana already online with us. Great to have you here, guys. Great to have you here with us tonight. Pastors on the couch. Hope you loved our little intro. On the stools, whatever else it is. We're hoping that obviously that you can see us, that it's all tracking well out there. And hey, again, send in your hellos, send in your highs. Great to have you here with us tonight. And we're on the couch talking all things lockdown and relationships.
Yes, we are.
Hey!
So good. Yes. How was everyone's day today? First day of official school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, school was back, wasn't it? Hey!
School was back, but it wasn't back.
Is that right?
Well, it was back in a new form.
Hey, Tracy, great to see you there.
Oh, hi, Tracy. Hi, Tiana. Tiana, I think you just must have little reminders going off. I think you're our first on. You Absolutely. And Tracy, yeah, you guys are on fire. There's not much you don't miss.
No, not at all.
Cool.
So it's great to have you guys here with us tonight as people are obviously logging in and getting ready for us to go live on the couch tonight. And as we get ready to go live on the couch tonight, can we just remind you too, if I can find the right button, that's it. Don't forget to click the share button. Click the share button. Let other people know that we're out there in Facebook land tonight. So Ramika, great to see you guys. Great for you to see you online tonight with us. Great to have you here with us.
The kids didn't like their new teacher.
Oh, no.
That
doesn't happen. Hey.
Too bad. So sad. Hey.
We should probably be laughing at that. Hey, Dawn, great to see you online with us tonight as well. Great to have you here with us.
We're looking
fresh.
Oh.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that comment.
Thanks, Tracy.
Oh, if I can get it to work. There it is. Look, see, we're not making this up. Tracy said it. There it is. There on the Facebook page. So, again, great to have you guys here with us tonight. As said, don't forget to click the share button. Let's get people in and online with us tonight. We've got 19 people by the looks of this already watching in. So
good.
Building up the numbers.
Have that music going on the background.
Yeah, we
can't do it.
I've already run a risk of how far I've pushed that music because you got to have licensing and all these sort of things.
Well,
we think we've got it.
We think
we've got it, but it's like, how do you know for sure? Until they boot you off, and if they boot you off, you really then know that you haven't actually got it. So, hey.
Hey, Dawn. Beautiful Dawn. She's another faithful to this show. And Ramika.
Yeah, and Ramika. Cool. Great to see you guys here with us.
Groupie followers.
Oh, really? That's a bit freaky, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's a bit crazy. It's all good.
Awesome.
So
cool.
Good.
So we wanted to start off tonight with, first of all, just doing a quick review about what we talked about on Sunday. So, again, what did we talk about on Sunday, honey? Or what did I talk about on Sunday?
You, honey, talked about thankfulness.
That's right. I did too, didn't I?
Being thankful. I love it. I just think when we can keep a gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, thankfulness, that it just unlocks so many things. There's so many. It's funny. You can have a really bad day. Or actually, no, let me rephrase that. You can have a really good day and one bad thing happens. Yeah. And guess what's the thing that you remember and focus on for the rest of the day? It's that one bad thing. But 100 amazing, beautiful things happened.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I just think I regularly find things to be thankful for all the time. It's just kind of part of my DNA now. Just like to do it.
Yeah, look, actually I've still got to post a couple of articles which I'll put in the feed over the next few days, but it's not just we would preach this as a spiritual thing, biblical practice, as much as, look, psychology today tells us that, being thankful, living a thankful life has a huge ability to change our attitudes, to override our attitudes, to put us in a place where we have a sense of possibilities, a sense of all things possible. I find it really interesting, actually, just reading a verse from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 16 to 18, which says, rejoice always.
Yes.
Surprise, surprise. Rejoice always. Pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances. Now, if you're watching in your lounge room, I can't read a verse like that and not have you do it. Say in your lounge room, in all things.
In all things.
Yeah, type it away in the comments, whatever you need to do. Put the thumbs up, put the hearts, whatever else.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, great to see the Doolies in line with us tonight. But it says, give thanks in all circumstances. Listen to this. For this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus.
So God actually wants us to give thanks.
Oh, it's actually His will. It's not just even wants, it's actually His will to do it.
Yeah.
His will, if we're a follower of Christ, if we're to live His will, then basically what we do is that we give thanks. That's a healthy discipleship lifestyle. If you're going to consider yourself to be a healthy disciple following Jesus Christ, a healthy disciple will do His will.
Yeah.
So therefore, again, it's those very things. So, again, thank you for tuning in tonight with us. That's right, Tiana, First Thessalonians.
Say that again, honey.
First Thessalonians. It's on fire tonight with the lisps. Hey, it's the guys down from Huon Valley with us again. Great to see you, Andrew Dickinson and your wife. Saw you on your C3 Hobart service, or Southern Campuses, whatever you now call them down there, sorry. It's the C3. It's not just C3 Hobart. It's C3 Hobart, Huon Valley. What's the right phrase for you guys, Andrew?
C3
what's the
South Hobart and C3 Huon Valley.
But what's the whole thing called? Andrew, what's the whole thing called? Tell us what the whole arrangement of C3 Hobart, Huon Valley, they're all one, but yet they're two campuses, but they're all one. What's the name for the all one? That's what I want to know.
It's like Jesus. He is
He's three, but he is one. But he is three, but he is one.
C3 Hobart, Huon Valley. They are
cool.
two, but they are one.
It's great to see some people taking online again, doing the all things. Hey, it's great to have Steve Black with us from C3.
Hey, another
Southern Campus. Oh, you guys have got to help us out. Make sure we're saying the right things here down at C3 Devonport. Here we go.
We have C3 Hobart.
We have C3 Hobart.
There you go.
We got it right.
So it's C3 Hobart with two campuses.
With two campuses.
Yeah, right.
That makes sense.
That's good.
Thanks for clearing that up for us. So again, great to live a healthy lifestyle, particularly a healthy lifestyle of following Jesus Christ. If I'm claiming to be a healthy disciple, then your regular activity will be give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God for you.
Yeah. And look, I challenge you, if you can't find one thing to be thankful for, that's a bit sad.
Hard.
I mean, look around. I could think of a million things just off the top of my head to be thankful for. The breath I breathe, the air, the clean air, the place where I live, the trees around my family. There's just so many if you just look around. So it's a really good exercise to do every day.
Absolutely.
Give thanks.
Cool. Hey, we've still got people coming online. So Davo.
Hi,
you got to find another name tag, Davo.
No, it's Dave.
Or Dave Robinson. We've got to find another name, buddy. Surely there's another one there. Ramika, great to have you online with us tonight. Hey, so we wanted to talk about how we've established that as a family practice. Because for us, we felt like, again, I guess for us, we're pastors of a church. We lead, we've got 4 beautiful kids. And our greatest priority, we believe, is the making disciples of those 4 kids before anybody else. Yeah. And so we've made a priority, well, how do we help our kids learn that lifestyle of being thankful and living a thankful life? So one of the things that has been a regular practice for us is that we have dinner time. We every night, or pretty much nearly every night. Yeah,
most nights. I mean, it's got more difficult as the kids have got older with work and sports, but there's still lots of nights. But regularly, nearly every night of the week, we are sitting around our dinner table. If you haven't got a dinner table, invest in one, because it is such a valuable time of the day to sit around and have dinner together. It is no phones, it is no TV. We might have music sometimes to just help create the mood, and it's a valuable, it's gold time where it's just us and the kids. Obviously, we have a lot of people around as well, but we make sure that we have specific family nights.
Definitely.
Because, so many things happen around that dinner table.
Oh, absolutely.
It's amazing. And it's a teaching ground.
So before we get into that, what we're trying to reiterate here now is that one of the greatest gifts you can give to your family, like go back, a couple of generations ago, and this was kind of standard that everyone would sit around the dinner table, all coming together, because there wasn't the other distractions. There wasn't phones. There wasn't the TV. There wasn't stuff, all these other things that we now have. Now, fair enough, if you're in a rural community working on the farm, you might still be out for quite a long time. But one of the things that we can't encourage enough is to, again, when it comes to that dinner time, come around the dinner table, put the phone away, turn the TV off, and sit together and do a meal together. And do that as many times as possible. As many times as possible through the week, that you all come together. It's not just, well, I'm not hungry now. I think that's been one of the, depending on the age of your kids, because if you've got kids who are eternal snackers.
We got a couple of those.
If you've got kids who are regular snackers, they come home, they're snacking it as soon as they get home.
They graze from 3:30 till 6 o'clock.
Yeah, they're snacking still at 5:30, 30 minutes before tea time. And then they kind of go like, well, I don't want to sit around everybody. I don't want to all sit around the table because I've already eaten, I'm not hungry.
Matthew Hope.
Yeah, I know.
What if the Swannies are playing well, Matthew Hope?
That might be an opportunity where we might let it part. No, it's not really. No, not even then.
We
not
would just have
then.
an earlier dinner.
Yes, we
Hope.
would.
Yes.
We'd rearrange it and reschedule
That's my
it.
cheeky brother-in-law there.
Yeah, g'day Steve Hughes. Great to have you online with us.
Carson in particular, he is a grazer and a snacker.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
And he will just, I'll see him, I'm preparing dinner. Dinner's possibly nearly even cooked, and I see him sneaking towards the pantry. And I'm like, oi, get out of it. You're ruining your dinner. Stop it.
Absolutely.
So put a lock on your pantry if you have to. Hi, team. Looking good. What's really in that drink, Sharon?
Now, James Atkinson, that's just naughty.
That is rude.
Is just naughty, James.
It's a digest herbal tea.
Great to have you online with us tonight, James. Great to have you hanging out with us. And Tiana Monday, I love this. Stop and give thanks at the dinner table. An important point, obviously, from Pastor Brian's message on Sunday. Thank you, Tiana. But yeah, absolutely. So what we then have regular things that we will do around the dinner table. And in line with this principle, before we get into those other things, yeah, we actually do. We did it even again tonight. Is we'll go around the table and we'll ask everybody what's a highlight, what's something that you are thankful for today.
Yeah. What's been your highlight? Yeah. What can you give thanks for? So
yeah,
that's good. And look, it's a range of thankful for food through to, friends, through to something they might have received or, but it's really good. And I don't think once any of them have ever stumbled and gone, oh, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to just pick one. That's more the thing. But
when you've got an optimist like you at the table, come on.
But yeah, we love it. I love it and usually it will bring out a story from their day, particularly when they've been at school.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we're all in each other's worlds like never before at the moment, which is great, and I love it. But, they could say, oh, I'm thankful for this friend at school that did something today, or a teacher that happened this. So you get to actually find out a bit about their day as well.
Yeah, you do.
As being thankful for that. It's cool.
Absolutely. So I guess that's so we're going to continue on into, again, what happens at the dinner table, because for us, we personally believe that it's the most significant place for training your child on how to not be awkward, shall we say? How to literally do life in a way that they learn social skills. But how else? But it's a way that you learn to do life together. Yeah. How you learn to not talk. Well, let's start with this one. It's one of the things, like, you don't talk over the top of each other.
No, that never happens around our tea table.
With 6 sanguines in the house, no, that never happens.
It does happen. Let's be honest, it does happen. But we teach them to not do that. It's actually not polite. Obviously, there's times when everyone's bantering and having a crazy time, but it's a time to teach and go, no, actually, everyone stop. One person talking at a time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a teachable moment.
Yeah.
So many things happen around the tea table. It's so important. Maybe if you're a shift worker and you're going, I can't do dinners, do breakfasts, or do what you can.
A meal that you all share together, where you practice this again, how to connect, how to be social together, how to talk together. Yeah. Particularly again like that. So particularly when the kids were younger, because again we've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
So when the kids were younger, that whole thing of not talking over the top of each other, of learning to wait for the other one to stop. It would mean we would regularly, though, have to pull them up to help create that habit. Yeah. It's not like you just say it once and it's done. That's crazy to think that's how it works. That's not parenting. Parenting is continual, repetitive,
consistency,
boundaries, how we do things here in our family. This is how we do things. Oh, but that family doesn't do it like that. That's not the point.
James trying to keep their 5 and 3-year-olds off the table. Oh,
wow. No, champ. There can be some issues with that, hey?
Yeah, well, it's usually me on the table. That's the problem.
Well, I've been to your house, so I know why you'd be worried with your 3 and 5-year-old on there. Because for starters, it's a really high table, and number 2, it's a launch onto concrete. So I know I'd be worried too if your kid's up on that bench.
James, on that, you can actually use gaffer tape or string and tie them to the chairs. You just do what you got to do. I'm sure you actually can do that. I'm joking.
If you're just joining in with us, we're talking about, again, how to do relationships and life in lockdown. And one of the things we're talking in specifically tonight is about how to do life around the table. Yeah. One of the greatest ways you can educate, you can skill your kids, teach them how to do social well, is around the dinner table.
Well, Jesus modelled it so well. He did lots of things around the table, or actually around food.
Absolutely.
So, and that's where he taught. So I just think it's really well modelled for us.
Absolutely.
Have
What
food.
a great point. I haven't
teach.
thought of that before.
Oh, honey,
That's so obvious.
It's all brains up here tonight. Look out. It's the digest tea, James.
So one of the things that we've laboured on in the first few sessions that I want to give extra time again to tonight with this around the table is, again, it's one called rules of engagement. Every family actually has to have the ability to know what are the rules of engagement, because it's how you create safety. If the rules are always changing, if the boundaries don't remain the same, if it's always about the mood, you're going to struggle to be able to build emotionally stable, I think, kids. Because I think at the end of the day, you literally have to look at that whole ability again to ensure that, hey, we don't talk over the top of each other. So that's a rule of engagement. We actually are all going to contribute. That's a rule of engagement. You know, because you might have those kids who are really quiet.
Yeah. What? I don't understand that.
For us, you have to understand, for us, we have 4 beautiful kids, 3 girls, a boy.
We love them dearly. They're so yummy and scrummy.
Oh, they are. They're
but
so
they're
much
loud. They're noisy.
Oh, all of them.
We've never really had a quiet child.
No. But it's still in that place, though, that, again, you teach your child, if they are quiet, to go, but regardless of whether you're quiet or not, you still have an opinion. Your opinion is valued here. And we want to hear about your story. We want to hear about what happened to you.
Yeah.
And therefore, we're asking that you do contribute at the table. So therefore, again, you actually empower self-belief. You empower courage. Yeah. Again, there's just so much that happens around the dinner table. And again, as we talk about rules of engagement, because of all things that we hope that every household would do for their children is to provide a place that's safe, and the way that you provide a place, or safe and loving. And both of those two things come just basically from consistent boundaries. Consistent rules of engagement. Consistent that yes is yes, no is no. If you're going to count to 3.
Count to 3.
Not 2 3/4 and 1
and
2/5 and whatever else.
Doesn't teach your kids.
No.
Consistency.
Yep. So what else about around the table? We had a few things there.
Yeah,
Well, manners.
Don't eat with your mouth full.
Don't eat with your mouth full.
Every time I think of someone saying it, when I was growing up, it wasn't actually my experience with our kids, but it was me as a sibling. My parents, we were all sitting around the breakfast bar, as we did regularly, and my eldest sister started to talk with her mouth full of food, and my mum goes, "Glendaline, don't talk with your mouth full." And so Glennie just goes and spits it all out on the plate, and then proceeds to talk.
She's watching? I wonder if she's watching.
No, I don't think she's on Facebook. But anyway, we love you, Glennie. But it was so funny. But it's things like that. You actually teach your kids. Don't talk with your mouth full. Use a knife and fork. Cut it properly. What else? Oh, gosh, there's so much.
There's simply manners like please, thank you.
Yeah, can you please pass the salt?
Yeah, absolutely. They're the simplest ways to actually educate, even just simply manners, like we talked about before. Not talking over the top of each other. But number 2, can you please pass me whatever it is? Thank you for etc.
Can teach them to serve. Fill everyone's cups up with water, or pass the plate, bring the plate. Sometimes I'll say, hey, can such and such come and serve at the table while I'm trying to serve it up, or whatever, and deliver. So you're teaching them to serve others as well. Heaps. Yeah.
Don't talk with your mouth full. Make sure you fill it up. Thank you. That's awesome.
Don't talk with your mouth. That's good, Jackie. Hi, Jackie from WA.
So again, also manners. What else do we?
You have fun. We have a truckload of fun at the table. That's obviously got way worse and out of control as the kids have got older, and at that stage where we've sort of taught them the ground rules of what not to do at the table and what to do at the table. There's this ongoing joke. I am adamant you should not fart at the table.
We're going to go there.
We are going
there. Awesome. I didn't think we were going to go there.
But you know what? Nearly every dinner now, we've got teenagers, young adults, but you know what? There's regularly a fart at our table, and it makes me cranky, but I can't help but not laugh. But yeah, so we failed there a bit, but I should not have gone there, should I?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't share this story, but this is another one of those ones where you go like, oh, come on, why not? Let's go there. But one of the things, again, I'll never forget a friend of mine saying once upon a time, if you can fake sincerity, you can fake anything.
True.
So we do this game every so often at the table, and particularly as the kids got older, with this whole farting thing. Is this really what you talk about in lockdown? Apparently you do. But when you're in that lockdown, when you're around the table and someone would fart, we'd instantly blame the person next to them.
Yeah.
And the competition would be to be who could be the most convincing as to who did or didn't make the noise.
I would still sit there and go, I'm trying to growl at whoever it was, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know if it was my husband or my child. So, yeah.
Hey, I wonder if Phoebe Weber, if you're online with us tonight, I don't know if she is, but if Phoebe Weber, if you're online, let me know, and we might see if we can find a way to bring you into the story, because that would be so funny. You blame me,
yeah,
Catherine. That's not
Catherine.
Very nice.
So true.
That is not very
fair. It's never
fair.
me. Ladies don't do that.
I love this, Ralph Bosch. Everyone, if those people don't know, Ralph here, who's made a comment, he has a fairly large family.
Yeah.
And again, I reckon, Ralph, you'd have a lot to say about the whole parenting thing with the amount of kids you guys have brought up. But it says everyone has a turn giving thanks, and 10 of us children take a while to go around.
Yeah, I bet you would.
I'm guessing the food's served extra hot at that table.
Yeah, that's so good. I'm glad to hear that you guys do that too, Ralph.
Oh, thank you. I haven't heard this one from You smelt it, you dealt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe you went there.
Sorry, honey.
I get surprised with some of the things that happen here.
Right, let's move on. Have we done dinner?
I think we've done the dinner time, yes. Yeah. Again, but finishing where we started that, so what we've been talking about again is thankfulness as a lifestyle. The way that you can teach thankfulness as a lifestyle is actually, again, around the dinner table. So much happens if you're willing to put the effort in around the dinner table, where you can teach so much to your kids about how to be socially confident, how to be polite, how to not be rude, how to be really basically pleasant people. Jennifer Crossman, cut the cheese. I can't believe I haven't heard that one for a while either.
So we can't encourage you enough. Switch those phones off.
Switch
them
off.
Turn the telly off. And value mealtime with your kids.
Definitely.
With your family members, with whoever it is that you live with, because it's such a valuable time, and that's probably the most that I get conversations and things out of our kids.
Definitely.
Without, different distractions and things. So can't encourage you enough. Just try it. It'll change your world.
Actually, just to reiterate that, as a dad who goes to work all day long and then comes home, and particularly in the world of teenagers, or even maybe your young kids, if they're on devices when you come home, it can feel like in some ways you come home, you don't even see your kids. But if you've got that engagement around the table in place where, look, this is going to be the moment, we're all going to sit together.
Yeah.
Again, it's the place where you can then turn that engagement in. No phones allowed at the table, that sort of stuff. We are all going to engage with each other right now. Yeah. Appreciate that for some people, like, this might be hard to instigate something like this because of the awkwardness maybe that might be present because of just difference of habits. Yeah. But I tell you what, if you pursue this around the dinner table, find a way to you don't have to be angry with how you set boundaries, but just consistent of how to set boundaries around your table. It's amazing what can be done. Yeah.
I actually was shocked with, it must have been something one of the kids had to do one time in primary school, and they had to talk about what a mealtime looked like for them and what they'd had for dinner, something with some experiment. And I was shocked that whichever child it was came home saying that out of a whole class of 26 kids, there was maybe only one or two that actually sat around the dinner table and had dinner together. And I was like, are you serious?
Bring back the dinner table.
Yeah, most
Bring it
people
back.
just sit go to their room, go to the lounge. And I was just blown away because to me it was just the normal thing. It's just what you did.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
thankful for my upbringing. I just saw a beautiful comment that Kelsey Klinglever wrote. Yeah, Kels. Hey, Kelsey, all the way from Cambodia. How are you, gorgeous girl? But it's great.
Yeah. Hey, I just realised we got people tuning in from Cambodia. Woo! That deserves a little bit of a bell. Hold on, let me see if I can find the party noise. Here we go. Yeah! I have way too much fun with this sort of stuff that we've got here tonight.
Right,
so,
moving on. We've
thankfulness.
been half an hour, so thankfulness.
The next thing to be thankful for is your partner.
Where's it? Woo!
Hold on, let's see if this works. Hey, baby.
Sounded like a bad fart, actually.
Oh, there's the farting thing again. I can't believe you brought that back up. That's just so rude.
Loving the differences. The opposites attract.
What do you mean, just like the Waltons?
Who's the Waltons?
It's an old TV series.
I
remember that?
vaguely remember that. Yeah.
But one of the things that we were talking about prior to this is, and just to get a little bit serious for a moment, but in my role of being pastoral with people, if there's any time where I've had to talk to couples where their marriages have got in trouble, it's usually been around the fact that whatever they fell in love with has actually they've fallen out of love with. I think many of us you'd have heard the phrase before. Opposites attract.
We were definitely opposites.
We were.
I think, you know that saying they say the older you get or the more you hang out with someone, the more you become alike. We're kind of getting more and more alike.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, isn't it?
It's a little bit strange.
We're not looking like each other yet, though, so that's the good thing.
Although if these wax shops don't open up soon, I might be looking like you. Oh, dear, Jesus, help me.
So, again, one of the dangers, I guess, of falling in love is that, again, it's usually opposites attract. But, again, if you don't know how to be thankful for those differences as your marriage continues, it's actually those things that can actually get annoying with each other. And I mean, I guess, but I've conducted a range of marriages, like lots and lots of marriages. And every time I reckon when they ask the couple, why him, why her, there'll at least be one of them who'll go, he balances me, or she balances me. Because there's that idea again that opposites attract each other.
That's true.
But the beauty of staying married is working out how to stay in love with the differences. Not let the differences get under your skin and never talk about it. Now. So here's again one of those things of differences that we kind of leaned on a little bit last week, and let's lean on it again tonight. Okay. And that is the conflict management stuff. You know, more often than not, we come into a partnership, we come into marriage, we come into relationships with different conflict management styles. And if you want to talk about a recipe for a disaster, that's it right there. It's in that moment of the opposites of conflict management styles that, again, can, I guess, take away from thankfulness if you don't know how to let thankfulness work over the top of those things, shall we say.
Yeah. That's all I'd like to say. Yeah, so...
Hold on.
What?
Awkward moment.
So, yeah, if you tuned in last week, you know, we talked about I was raised with just how conflict wasn't very much shown and seen. And
who does conflict? Seriously, no one enjoys conflict.
No, that's right.
There may be one or two of you out there who do, because you've kind of got that little bit of leaning towards it. You've managed it. But let's face it, no one enjoys conflict
But we all deal with it differently. And so I was dealt with try and sweep it under the carpet and whatever. And I'm still that. I hate conflict. I'll avoid it like the plague.
No, you don't. You love
it.
No, not anymore.
But Brian was raised where you just have it out. It's just guns out and you give it all. If I'm allowed to say it. Sorry, Sparrow. I love you. I love my mum and dad.
Quite like that.
No. And I am thankful for how I've...
How big was the fish? It was this big.
So we obviously got married, come together, had our disagreement, and it was awkward. It was weird because I blew my fuse, as I do. I'm a person that builds up emotion to the point I'm like, no, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. Bang! I explode. And so... Brian's more not just talk it out all the time.
Come on,
I want to fix it. I want to fix it.
We can solve this out by talking it through, surely.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I just need time. I just need time and space. Let me deal with it. So yeah, we had a couple of moments early on where it was pretty tough and hard, but we had to come to a middle ground where we went, okay, how are we going to do this? We're a new married couple. We, as much as we've got our upbringings and what's going to work for us, and how are we going to find a happy medium, so that I felt safe and comfortable to have those conversations, and you felt safe and comfortable. So, yeah. Excuse me, I'm just coughing. It's not corona. It's all good. I just got it building in my throat. So, yeah, we did that.
Yep. So, again, we lean on that right here and now in the sense of, again, in the context of thankfulness, because I guess in some ways, if you let thankfulness be a measure to go, am I still being thankful for my partner? Because Stop it. I need a little lovers in the air moment here with some. I'm going to find some tracks in these next few weeks for some sound effects.
On the 1st of... Sorry. On the 1st of May, which was we're up there. Oh, we're up there. 1st of May, which was, I think, Thursday, we That was our official first date 27 years ago at a Steve Grace concert.
Steve Grace.
Steve Grace.
I tried to get romantic the other night by playing a Steve Grace
song. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's not go there. You don't take Steve Grace into the bedroom.
What? Did she just say that?
Anyway.
Hold on. Whoa. Friday? What Friday? Is that business time?
No, Friday must have been the first you could.
Oh, sorry, I've just made it a full complete.
Anyway, so where were we? Come back.
Come back. Oh, thankfulness.
Thankfulness.
If you're losing your ability to be thankful for your partner, I would suggest that one of the things you do need to check is, again, are you talking about the things that need to be talked about? Because that's, again, it's the... I mean, I've so valued that over the years that, particularly as we got more mature in our relationship, I can remember we'd go to a cafe maybe once, not all the time, occasionally, about once every 2 months maybe, when things, were kind of at least we were sane with each other, we would ask the really hard question. What is it that I'm doing that annoys you right now?
That's a really brave question.
Oh, that's such a brave question.
But we do it. We ask.
Yeah, we do.
And you have to put your big girl pants on
and your big boy pants on. Oh, I tell you what, that's tough.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you love each other. And your partner, I know. Are you still prickly?
No, I shaved. It's all right.
Your partner actually wants the best for you. They want you to grow and flourish in your relationship. So we've got to have those conversations where we just bring out the best in each other and talk about the little things that might just tick us off sometimes. Because let's face it, we're not perfect. And
no, not at all.
We tick each other off, whether we choose to or whether we don't choose to. We're gonna say stuff. We're gonna react. We're gonna have an attitude. We're emotional human beings, and stuff happens. But we've got to somehow go, hey, you know what? When you get really tired, or hey, when it's that time of the month, like for us women.
You've gone even there.
I have.
Oh, wow, I love this tonight. Oh, this is no holds barred. We should have advertised this tonight. No holds barred.
But I have to realise when it's getting to that time of the month for us as women.
It's a great time to go golfing.
It is. It should. Yeah, maybe.
Dara, are you there? Do you play golf?
Just kick the men out for a week, I say. No. But you have to actually try to manage that and talk to your husband or your spouse or your partner about what that actually looks like and what you need at that time. And you know what? I get really emotional around that time of the month. Like I could just cry at anything, which I wasn't so bad early on.
It's crazy, but it changes over the ages.
Yeah, as I get older.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, we won't get there, but it changes.
So I have to kind of be conscious about that and think, okay, I'm leading into a emotional week, and even think about how much I carry and what I even do, what my workload looks like. And Brian's aware of that. He's like, ding, 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 red flag, red flag. It's nice week. It's, just bring home the flowers that week. And I'm just going to do all the chores that week. And I'm going to cook meals that week. No,
disappear that week.
Actually. But anyway, he'll get there.
27 years. Oh, not
25 years.
Coming up 25 years in October.
25 years we've been married.
Oh, wow. He could learn. I know. You think
chocolate
he would.
Helps. Yeah, chocolate does help.
So here's one of those things, again, in regards to the thankfulness. So, again, if you're marrying a person and you expect them to be someone completely different years later in the context that you're going to change them, they're going to be more like this now. I'm telling you now, whatever they were doing before, they're more than likely still going to be doing years later.
And do you know what? Usually it's when you're saying, I want my husband to change about this, do you know what's usually the issue? It's yourself, and you actually have to change.
Did she just say that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Oh, hold on, it didn't work. Hold on, we'll go again. Here it goes. Yes, she said it.
But they say to you as well.
Oh.
You guys sometimes think, I wish my woman would change in this area. Well, usually the issue's with yourself. So I would challenge us when we see things in our partners that we want them to change. I remember there was one time, I can't think what it was actually the issue was, but you were really annoying me. And
that never happens. That never happens in our relationship ever.
No. But I thought, and I took it to prayer. I would go and I'd go, God, this is really frustrating me with Brian.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how to deal with
Now
it.
you're talking. Come on, preach it, honey. Preach
so
it.
I would pray and I'd prophesy over him, the mighty man of God that he is. And because he's an incredible man of God.
Oh,
I mean,
now
I wouldn't
you're
have married
preaching.
a douchebag. So I was young, but I wasn't stupid. Maybe I was stupid enough. I love you, honey. So
if you think right now I should be offended, if you're out there on Facebook land from that comment and you think I should be offended, I want you to write on here right now, yes, Brian, you should be offended with that comment.
No. So I was having the issue with Brian thinking he needs to change, right? So then I had the revelation, actually, it's me that needs to change. So I would give it to prayer. I would pray about it, and I would prophesy over you and declare all these incredible things, all the things I loved about you.
Yes.
Didn't thank God for the couple of things that drove me bonkers. And my whole attitude changed. I don't even know if you changed in that area, but I changed. Man, I'm just digging myself in here, aren't I?
What? Rebecca, you agree with shit? Oh, boo. Boo. Why did I even put that one there? I need another little thing over here that actually
says... Thanks, girls. Whoop, whoop. Girls have got my back.
I'm going to find some...
That's exactly right.
What are you saying? Jacqueline, I can't... Where's Brad? Where's Brad? I haven't heard from Brad tonight, Jack. I've only heard from you. Brad, help me out.
Build a fence and get over it. That's what you do with a fence. You build a fence and get over it.
So why are we talking about thankfulness? Because again, if your measure of thankfulness is down about your partner, about your spouse, if you're finding that you can't be thankful, then you really got to address something, because you fell in love for a reason.
Yeah.
You made vows for a reason.
Yep.
Sometimes
I sit there and go back. You know, if I am feeling a bit like cranky with Brian, or he's done this again. He left his dirty undies on the floor. Or didn't put
really? Do you really want to put that out there for them?
No, he actually doesn't leave his dirty. But he didn't put that flipping cup in the dishwasher. It was left on.
We won't go there.
No, we won't. We might go there. Actually,
maybe we have to have another one of those conversations. What am I annoying
about? What was I going to say? Oh, darn it! Oh, you made me miss my train of thought. It was a really good one.
Stuart and Lynn are watching from Hobart. Hey, Stuart and Lynn, great to have you guys here with us online with us tonight.
It's gone. It was a really good point.
If you were just joining us, we are talking all things lockdown, relationships and kids, and whatever other questions. Hey, if you've got questions, because we're going to be finishing up here in a few minutes.
We are.
If there's actually a question that you might have, we don't know how to talk at all, do we? No. But if you've got some questions that you would like to be asking us about partners, being thankful, about kids and all that sort of stuff, teaching them those things, please jump online, send us some photos and all that sort of stuff. Hold on.
That's what I was going to say.
There we go.
So if I'm having a little bit of a moment,
unthankful moment,
I love to just sit back and go, remember those first few times that I met Brian, remember those first few dates, that courtship time, and all the things that I fell in love with him for. What are you laughing at? Who said what?
Rumika.
Yes, he distracts me all the time.
Hey, this is a really good point, Jack. Let's just talk about now you're talking, Jackie. I'm going to leave that one up there just for a few minutes to help us stay focused. But again, so this, I guess, maybe we'll use this as our finishing point tonight, unless again we get another question come through. But again, being a healthy disciple, being a healthy family, one of the characteristics is going to be encouragement.
Yep.
Is giving healthy feedback that's encouraging.
Yep.
But we one of the things that I want to highlight tonight in encouragement is that more often than not we just say, "Oh, you look nice,"
Excuse me.
"I love you," or bits and pieces like that. It's always generic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's specific encouragement.
You said it right, honey.
I know I did. Thanks. It's specific encouragement that actually. Sorry, I just got distracted. Look at this. Yeah, someone remembered the Steve Grace line a minute ago. Yeah, good on you. Thanks. Yeah, great, good. I'm back to this for getting thankful. So it's really important in being thankful to then say why you're thankful. Because that's if you want to find a way to be simply encouraging, it's go, honey, I'm thankful for you because, here we are, 25 years later.
Come on.
And you've stuck it out with me.
I know, right?
And I think we have more fun now than we've ever had in our life.
True. Oh, you're getting teary.
Oh, am I?
You look like your eyes are watering up. Did I poke you in the eye?
Hold on. I need a little another moment here, like. Oh, that's not really right. I needed something more a little bit different.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna find
the thing
some
I
really
love
cool
about
songs.
you.
Oh, here we go.
And
I'm ready for this.
one of the very first things I fell in love with Brian was not his mullet, although it kind of was his mullet. But
We can't go there.
No, we can't go there. But was his absolute. I looked at this guy without even knowing him.
And she did.
I did.
We should tell this story sometime a little bit later.
It was literally love at first sight, and I knew I was going to marry him before even meeting him. But I looked at him and I went, I love the man of God that he is. I just saw, and I remember from a little girl looking at a minister and going, what?
Keep going, no, get this.
Looking at a minister and going, I want to marry a man like my minister, the Reverend, in a dress.
There it is. She said it. I knew it was coming in a second.
I was attracted to a man in a dress. No, I wasn't really. I was attracted to a man of God.
Stop talking about my wardrobe.
So I knew that, and that's what I love about you to this day. Just you're so strong in your faith.
Come
you're
on.
so strong in your love for Jesus. And, I know you're just a man of God. So I love it.
Hold on, I just need to take a moment. Thank you for my little hair to go. Thank you. Thank you.
My turn.
I did to you before.
Oh, mine was bigger and longer. Oh, sorry, we don't compare. We don't compare.
That's what no. Okay, stop. Whoops.
Behave.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, still try. We're talking all things
So specific
healthy.
encouragement. You even do that with your kids, but with
absolutely.
your spouse. Encourage them specifically, not just, oh, your hair looks really cute today. And all that's lovely. And I regularly tell, oh, you look really pretty today, and all that stuff. But
absolutely.
It's so much more valuable when you're really specific about something, their kind gesture or their something.
So again, build thankfulness into that culture of your home. Heck, your workplace.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, we built it into our church. One of our mandates when we came here years ago was, when we first planted church, was that our mandate is that we're going to build a church that's filled with encouragement. To me, love is to encourage, but not just generic. Encouragement that actually impacts. It means that you've seen me. When you say something to someone in a way that goes like, I recognize something in your life. I'll try not to go there. But when someone says something specific to you that they've noticed, it does so much to your sense of who you are. And particularly again, if you as a parent are going to do that to your children, if you can say, hey, I love it when you share things with your sisters. When you share things in a way that, where other days I notice you just want it to be yours. I noticed we shared with that with one of our kids in particular who was fairly protective of their toys, but from time to time they would just literally just share it with other kids. Because let's face it, why is it the kids always want what the other child has? It always.
Yep.
So when we noticed that one of our kids, like in the midst of a season like this, went out of their way to think about how they could do that effectively, we made a point of that, shared it with them, and we really believe the fact of that. Again, how much that's helped our kids grow up in the way that they have. So thank you, Mr. Dooley. I appreciate your comment there on that. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Look, and I just think it's so easy. I don't get why people struggle to encourage, because again, I guess it's what we've grown up in. But
here comes again the point of thankfulness.
Yeah.
Thankfulness means you're seeing something.
Yeah.
If you can't be thankful, it means you can't see. Let me say that again.
Sorry.
I'm about to say something really deep.
Sorry, honey.
This is life-changing.
Sorry,
you're going to take my moment.
With my moment. Sorry, go.
I can't remember what I was going to say. If you can't be thankful, it means, again, you're not seeing.
Yeah.
In fact, this is, one more point. Will we get, what time is it? No, we'll go one more.
14.
One more point. Okay. I saw,
5 minutes,
I think
people.
Mel Norman's who does a great job with our kids team, and helping even parents right now in this season, encouraging them in regards to, she's a teacher by trade, profession, and assisting, if you need some assistance with how to work the whole homeschooling thing. She's made some offers to, again, help with some tuition about that. But one of the things I think I've noticed from a couple of Facebook comments in dealing with a couple of families is that, we so often put ourselves down. We so often talk negatively about ourselves, particularly in our household environment. And the difficulty is that if that is the way that you talk, number one, again, I'll come back to the fact you're not seeing things. Seeing things is being, again, it's not just being thankful for what is in others. Do you know, this is the hardest form of thankfulness. Being thankful for who you are.
Yeah.
When you can get thankful for your good qualities. In fact, right now I'd even encourage you to take a moment to pause. Can you recognise at your stage of life any good qualities that you have and be thankful for them? The Bible says that God has made you wonderfully, fearfully made. I'll never forget as a teenager having a revelation about that when I was having a bit of a self-esteem. You know, I was a nerdy teenager. I know you can't believe it. I know you can't, but yeah, I was. I was that nerdy teenager. I had a half mullet.
I fell for that nerdy teenager. I was going to marry some blonde, cool, surfy dude.
Well, you know, I was kind of, you know, doing the thing. But I didn't quite have the full mullet, and I was the kind of kid who had, however they told you to wear the uniform, regardless of how everybody else was wearing the uniform, I was wearing the uniform the way you were supposed to wear the uniform.
And I was wearing the uniform to make it look cool.
So, needless to say, I was having a moment in front of the mirror anyway, and I'm kind of, actually, you know what I get. I had a moment in front of the mirror, moaning and groaning to God and going like, you know, why'd you make me like this, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden I literally heard that scripture come to mind. It says, you know, if I make things all fearfully and wonderfully made, I remember hearing like a little comment after
God,
it.
Don't make no junk.
You're pulling out the punchline. Stop. You pulled out the punchline.
No, the mullet is not coming back.
No, you're right. Yeah. The mullet is not coming back.
God don't make no junk, people.
Yeah. So, so therefore, again, literally hear the whisper. God says, you know, do I make junk? And I can still remember being in front of that mirror after my moan and groan session and going, well, God, no, I agree with you. You don't make junk. And I'll never forget that day going, well, therefore, I better be thankful for me. I better be thankful for what God has created. Yeah. And if I'm going to be thankful for what God has created, I am being thankful for me. I'm being thankful for this.
Yeah.
I'm being thankful for what I can do and what I can't do. Remembering God didn't just make my strengths, He also created me with weaknesses. Yeah. Because it was those weaknesses that meant I needed others. I needed someone to do life with. I needed church to do life with.
Yeah.
You know, and if we can display those characteristics in our home, if you can display with, you know, you're not going around going like, I'm the best in the world. That's not what we're talking about.
But praise your kids, believe in them.
But again, believe yourself first, because when you can be thankful for you, it's so easy to then begin to see in others.
Well, they look at us and model at us.
Yeah. I think in some ways it's the hardest step of thankfulness, but yet it's the key to thankfulness. That if you can take a moment to be thankful for something about you, because again means to, you know, love the Lord, love one of thy neighbour as you love yourself. So if you can take a moment to go, you know what, I value that God made this about me. I'm thankful that He made me like this. Then it creates the ability that you will see into other people's lives. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to hand over to you for a moment while I catch up with a couple of these Facebook stuff.
About?
What is it that you're thankful for in me, honey?
I've already done that. Actually, funny little story. I was always a fairly confident girl and kid. I used to do stuff. But I do remember when we first started dating, my self-esteem kind of took a shot. I don't know why. What did you do to me? I think it was just that, 17, 18 age, I started comparing myself to other people. My sisters were my heroes and always looked. But you picked up that I had this bit of self-esteem image issue with me. And so Brian would actually, I remember him taking me to standing in front of a mirror once, and he made me say, you tell yourself that you are beautiful, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And he was like, you are going to do that because you are beautiful and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I was like, I'm not doing that. That's so stupid. And anyway, so he was like, honey, I want you to do it. So I did it, and I'd look at him and well, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And I did that every day. He'd check with me. Did you do that thing in the mirror today? Because we were dating at the time. And eventually I went from fearfully and wonderfully made to I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I remember that day.
Yeah. And the confidence that I got was amazing. So you look yourself in the mirror if you struggle with this, and you tell yourself that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that God don't make no junk.
Absolutely.
And you are modelling that to the next generation. Yep. And then we will raise kids that are that are confident, that know who they are and comfortable in their own skin.
Yep. Again, if you really want to build your partner's esteem, your kids' esteem, this really is the simplest key on how to do it. It's just learn how to be thankful and state what you are thankful for into your partner. I mean, you build your partner's self-esteem, and I'll tell you what, you'll change the atmosphere of your partnership. You'll change the atmosphere of your home. Build each other.
Yep.
You live like that, you will you'll change a world, you'll change your own world. Again, don't be a complainer. Honestly, just don't live as a complainer.
Yeah.
Find a way to get thankful.
Yep.
Be thankful about your spouse. Be thankful about your kids. Find a way to be thankful for your family.
Thankful?
You know, and even for tonight, if you're watching as a single person, find a way to be thankful somehow, even for the circumstances you find yourself in.
Yeah.
Thankful for the freedom that you have. Thankful for the fact that you do have control of your. You know, Paul writes in the Bible. He says, "I wish all people were like myself." The idea that he was single. Because it meant I can devote myself to God and His purposes. I can give myself fully. I'm not looking back. In fact, Paul actually goes as far as to say, while he's in a lockdown situation, there are 4 books in particular Paul writes in lockdown: Philippians, Colossians, Ephesians, Philemon. They're all written while he's under house arrest, lockdown.
Yeah.
And in one of those, of all times to actually write it when he's lost his freedoms, he says, "I count all things lost for the sake of knowing Christ."
Wow.
So again, I can encourage. Again, please, if you're single, do not see your singleness as a disadvantage.
No.
Find a way that it is an advantage. Find a way but therefore, for the sake of relationship, it's up to you what level you connect at. Ring up people, ask them out for coffee. Don't ever assume. I think this is the. You know, I always say we'll finish with this.
It's 8:22, honey. It's going to click over to an hour again.
You know, but don't presume the other person's too busy. I think of all things for Sharon and I, places that I think we've missed friendships with people have missed friendships with us because they've just assumed we're too busy. Yeah. Rather than picking up the phone and just simply asking, "Hey, are you doing anything right now? Would you like to go for coffee? Would you like to connect? Would you like to catch up?" You know, we do. We're very privileged. We have family and we love each other, but that doesn't mean we don't then go out places, not do other things. So again, I can't encourage enough. If you're a single person here tonight watching this online, please don't make the mistake of assuming they're all busy. And look, you are going to have to cope with a little bit of rejection, but so do we in a family situation. We're going to cope with it half time even more. As I said, I come home at 5 o'clock most nights and everybody's on a device and go like, "Hi, everybody."
And Honey from the kitchen who's cooking the dinner goes, "Hi, babe."
She does, actually. She does.
Hi.
At least someone notices me. I like it.
Day?
In fact, I like this stage of married life. This is awesome. It gets better, everybody. It keeps getting better.
It does. It does.
Awesome. All right. Where are we? It's 8:24. Let's see. Thank you. We've got a couple of comments flying through here. Yeah, awesome. Being single at this time is good. I don't have to share my snack food.
True. And you don't have to worry about if you snore.
No. Who does that?
See these bags under my eyes? Brian Weber. Love you.
Hey, everybody. We love you all. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. And we're going to get ourselves ready to finish off. Let's see if I can make this work in a way that's kind of a little bit cool. But thank you for joining us tonight. It's been great. Hey!
Awesome.
Let us remember, though, remind you about a couple of things that are coming up. That's with us tonight. But, hey, we've got Mother's Day coming up.
Oh, yes.
Speak what you say about Mother's Day, honey.
I'm preaching, so jump online and tune in. I feel God's given me a couple of verses. In Deuteronomy 29, it talks about the secret things belong to God, and but then those things that are revealed belong to us. So I'm going to unpackage that a bit and talk about it as parents. There's lots of things that we don't understand. God keeps secrets from us sometimes, for reasons. But He reveals things to us along the way. So I'm going to unpackage that and also talk a bit about Mary, Jesus' mum, and how she pondered things in her heart, and how I'm going to intertwine those two verses, Bible verses in together. And in the middle of my message, I'm going to interview my amazing mother-in-law.
Yes!
Pretty
Gonna be awesome.
big ordeal that happened in her life, but our hope is found.
And people can win something, can't they?
Yes, there's a bit of hamper.
Explain it to everybody.
I'm looking at the wrong camera. There is a $200 base bar hamper up for grabs. So
how much? $200? Did you say $200?
Actually, it's $204. But Facebook gave us a $4 discount. So big shout out to Facebook. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But if you live
Tonight
on the
was brought
Northwest
to you
Coast, well, C3 too. If you live on the Northwest Coast, jump onto our Facebook site and check out how you can register. Just one beautiful, amazing mum.
Come on, everybody.
And we're going to draw that, and it will be announced
So-
in our service on Sunday.
So find that promo and click the share button. What do you need to do? That's right. Click the share button. Thank you for joining with us tonight. It's been fabulous. Love you all. Miss you all. And I'm going to find the right button here in a moment. Thank you for joining us live on the couch. God bless you, and we will see you next time.